What's going on? What's up, YouTube? Let's get into the Sugar and Skoom story. hold up. All right, okay, I'm good. All right, this is your boy Big Miz from the zoo, and I have another story time for y'all right here. This is the Sugar and Skoom story, and basically, this situation right here kind of expounds on how inmates are they get so impressionable to a point when they've been locked up for a long time. Because this individual, Scoon, he was locked up when I got there already, I think like 12 to 13 years. And his people kind of like gave him the cold shoulder a little bit. We're going to say that, gave him the cold shoulder, where they wasn't putting money on his books like that. Like he'll probably touch something, or somebody will send him something in, probably like every 6 months probably, and then it can go longer than that. And the girlfriend that he had at the time, he said that she skedaddled like 8 months when he first started his bid. She was gone, right? Now, we're in Ware State Prison Level 5 camp, and in our dorm, just like it is sprinkled around the whole Georgia Department of Corrections, we got some punks in the dorm. And they wasn't putting them on the door. These punks was actually doing something inside the dorm where they was making money and pleasing other people. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really tell you like the full gist of what they were doing, because I really don't know. I just know of the situation that I saw in front of my eyes and the aftermath of it. And this is the things that I want to aware y'all to. You know what I'm saying? Excuse the that noise right there. But what I want to aware y'all to is the fact that people do get weak. Because I saw a man go from busting his butt, hustling, staying to himself, you know what I'm saying, trying to jug with a female CEO, working out all the time, always playing basketball. He stayed active. But when this third punk came into the dorm, it changed my man. Yeah, it changed my man. Look, check it out. So, this is where it started at. I came out the door one day out my cell, and I saw Skoom sitting downstairs. He was playing solitaire. You know what I'm saying? The game that you play by yourself. And he's playing. He got all the cards on the table. He flipping stuff and doing all this stuff or whatever. Because I don't really know how solitaire really goes. I never tried to play it. I mean, the closest I get to it is probably like Rummy 5,000 or Rummy 2,000 or 1,500 or whatever like that. Now, I noticed that the punks be moving around all on the big floor a lot. They be standing there, talking and giggling and doing all this old wild, crazy stuff, trying to get attention. Because yes, these Gap Gang members, they do the most inside the prisons. They do the most. They're always trying to be heard and seen, so people can watch them switching and talking like girls, standing, trying to stand like a woman and all that. They do all this shit. But anyway, they're on the big floor. They're standing there, and Sugar, I know this one to be the last one that came into the dorm. This was a skinny, real brown skin. He looked like, all right, if you can take Bobby Brown back in the 80s, for those who are of age a little bit, you would bring Bobby Brown back to the 80s, that skinny, that complexion, with like a little high top curly, and just turn him all the way out. Turn him to a straight punk, spin him, and turn him into a punk. Now you got Sugar. You know what I'm saying? And he's looking at Skoom. And I noticed before that he'd be looking at Scoon walking around and stuff like that, especially when he go into the yard to work out and he got the cut off shirts and all that. I saw that this punk be looking at him. But he saw him sitting down one day, right? And I'm coming downstairs, and there's a table like right to the left here. There's a table to the left, and that's where Skoom is sitting at. And then there's more tables, but this punk comes to the table and sits down and say, "Can I sit here?" Skoom like, "Yo, go ahead," right? And what this punk do, he's using a tactic, and I guess this is a punk tactic to get dudes or whatever like that. He's saying little stuff like, yo, well, first off, he asked him, can he please say, do you know how to play casino? He was like, yeah, but he looking at him, and he was like, oh, don't worry about that. I ain't trying to get at you or nothing like that. I ain't even worried about you. I got my own, man. I got my own shit up in here. Like, I know how to handle me. And he was like, look, I ain't trying to hear all that. Just, what's up? You gonna play? We gonna play. I'm like, what you trying to bet? He's like, we can bet. I got some food in there. We can bet. It's whatever. You know. So while I'm walking past, I look back and I smile. I was trying to look at Skoom, but Skoom is paying straight attention to this punk, right? So they start playing. And I done got out of earshot, but I see the punk is smiling and saying stuff to Skoom or whatever. And while he's shuffling the cars and all that, then he started dealing the cars out. And I'm coming back past to come up the stairs. And I hear him say, what, she left you? How's she gonna leave somebody flying like that? And this Skoom kind of looked around. He was like, And I was like, holy shit, hold up. Now I'm on my nosy shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Skoom, like I used to talk to Skoom here and there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering already, like, why is you even playing this situation close like this? This is not a good look. People will label you just by sitting with one and conversating for a minute. And I dare if you laugh at something and get the key in the hole in your stomach, or keep staring this individual in the eyes like that and having this conversation, because they're going to be doing all the antics and all that. People will just watch and then they'll label you. You know what I'm saying? I done kicked it upstairs, boom. I done got on the rail and I'm sitting there like this, boom, with my coffee, I'm drinking. But I'm looking. And what this punk is doing, he's using Skoom's emotional side. He's trying to tap in to something that Skoom probably hasn't even dealt with or dug into or nothing, and hearing a whole bunch of compliments like nonstop. He just flooding her with it. Dag, you look good, you toned, you must be real strong. Dag, but you, like, your eyebrows are so perfect, and I ain't trying to be all like that, but like your lips got the perfect shape, like them kissable lips. Like, he crossing boundaries, and Skoom is not really peeping it, or he liking what he hearing, and he know it ain't too many people out right now because it's early, so he allowing this to take place. He has to. I'm watching it in 4K. I'm watching it. It's taking place. You know what I'm saying? And they still going or whatever, playing the cards, and I fall off in the run. I'm laughing. Yo, Skoom is crazy for that. Boom, I go in the cell. My celly is already gone, so I'm doing push-ups off the table. I'm trying to get right, and I usually do that. I try to do like 1,000 push-ups off the table. And yes, it's possible. Like I was in there, a little skinny dude trying to go crazy. When I come out to go take a shower, I'm noticing that now Skoom and his punk is hitting corners. That means walking around down on the bottom, going around the whole bottom, walking side by side, hitting every corner. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yo, all I can see is the wrong in this situation. This punk is working on him. And now Skoom is finding something comfortable in this conversation because he's hearing things that he hasn't heard in years, over a decade. He's hearing compliments being thrown at him. Somebody's identifying things about him that he's working on and he's been working on for years. And somebody is now giving him his flowers and his sugar. Sugar is giving him his flowers. But this is how the situation turns around, man. This is how the situation turns around. Yo, alright, so check it. I don't know when the switch happened, right? I must not have been in the dorm or nothing. But one night, because Skoom he was staying right to the right side of me, right? Where it's a vent attached that I can hear through the vent, I can hear through the bottom, through the wall and everything. And I'm talking to my celly, and we was talking about this book called The Shit List. You know what I'm saying? And I think I was on Shit List 3, and he was on 2, and we was talking about all the unalivings that this person was doing in this book called The Shit List. So if y'all ever want to catch a good book that goes in volumes, go check out The Shit List. It's SHYT list. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good read. It's a good read. Now back to the story. We're talking about the book, and we hear a little bumping and thumping that usually does not come from Skoom room, right? So it automatically alerted us. I was like, yo, who's Skoom roommate? Because I know that his other roommate had left and nobody then came out the hole and went into this man's room yet. And he was like, oh boy, I don't know. I was like, so what the heck are you doing to me? I was like, what's up? Yo, you hear that, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, yo, who? I know that ain't Skoom crying like that, yo. Now, we're trying to listen for more. but it's very, very, very quiet. You don't hear no more crying, no boo-hooing or nothing, you know what I'm saying? For the rest of the night, it is quiet. You know what I'm saying? You would hear people in the dorm talking and stuff like that, yelling from cell to cell when it came to lockdown. Now, the officer's coming to let me out of my cell because I'm a third shift orderly. She come like, White, you ready to come out? I was like, yeah, I'll come. You can just leave the door unlocked. I got it. So I'm getting my stuff together. And I was like, yo, I'm about to see who in there was Skoom, you know what I'm saying? And I come out and I walk past, I already heard it. I already heard the punk talking, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even have to look in there, nothing. I heard the punk talking. I went and doubled back and turned around, went down the stairs. And I was like, no, it can't be. This can't be. There's no way that this is happening right now. Scoon going out bad as hell. You know what I'm saying? Now, after the day was over, me cleaning up, I then fell back in the cell, then went to sleep, woke up the next day. I'm up dumb early, making my coffee, and Skoom is inside the day room. And he's in this punk's face, saying stuff. The punk is in the corner, looking all timid and crazy, and Skoom saying stuff to him, and he towers over this punk. You know what I'm saying? Towers over him. And then weight and everything. And he's saying a whole bunch of stuff to him, all this. And I went to look in there, and he was holding the punk by his throat, but was so close to his face. I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't say nothing to him or even keep looking. I went not spent off, you know what I'm saying? And some time went past. Like, I knew they was roommates and stuff like that. I fell back from school. I stopped talking to him. And, like, maybe like a month went past. And yes, I noticed Scoon walking with the punk on rotations. I noticed that they would always come out, they'd be playing cards, they'd be gambling even though they're in the room with each other. You know what I'm saying? Their room will always be quiet because I was waiting for any type of sound coming out of there. You know what I mean? But 1 month after that, I'm in the dorm and I'm laying there and I was like, yo, it's too quiet out there, yo. Yo, it's way too quiet out there. I was like, hold up, yo. Yo, roommate, cell 8. I was like, oh, he's asleep. This man's asleep. I'm like, let me see what's going on out there. Man, because it's way too quiet out there. And when I pushed the door open, what was transpiring was Skoom's gang. And he was kind of like over them too. But when they get to a point where they start getting calls from other places saying that they need to handle something, they need to take the big guy down, they do things, man. They do things. They start to gather up in different cells, hiding from this person to put together a plan to take this person down or take this person out. You know what I'm saying? And this was the day that I kind of said, damn, this is the situation with Skoom. This is how I learned a lot of my lessons, watching other people fail at stuff and make weak decisions and not be mindful that this is the path that you can go down doing crazy shit. Like, you crossing boundaries, how you gonna cross back? You can't straddle the fence. If you mess with one side, you trying to mess with the other side, yo, one side gonna push you over there and say, yo, stay over there. That's the side that you want. And matter of fact, that's the one thing to grow on. I'm gonna let y'all know this. If you're dealing with somebody, right, and y'all supposed to have a friendship, a bond or something, and they deal with your enemy or somebody that you don't care for, if you haven't known this person for a very long time and know exactly what they're going to do, you know what I'm saying, if something happens or whatever, they're going to stand out the way or whatever the case may be, you might want to push them over to that side. So it just makes it easier so you can see who you got and what you got to deal with. Push them on that side, man, and then you'll see how they'll perform. Believe me, it works. But check it. What I did, I put in the footage of exactly what I saw when I opened the door. And this right here is the Sugar and Skoom story. I found out that Skoom was actually starting to deal with the punk. He had sexual relations with this punk. And this was his outcome. When I saw that it was too quiet in the dorm, I jumped down. Put on my sneakers and stuff, laced them up tight. I said, nah, it's too quiet in this dorm. Boom. Yeah, they was out there getting in Skoom ass, boy. Like, I couldn't believe it. They was beating him down, kicking him all in his face, pouring him out and everything, man. Scoon was downstairs with his pants down to his ankles, laying there looking real crazy in the game. And he was bigger than all them dudes. But they got together, they worked as a gang, and they went and put in work. Skoom laid down there, man, and after a while, he succumbed to his injuries, bro. He succumbed to his injuries, and Skoom was out of that spot. They had to take Skoom, you know what I'm saying, up out of the dorm on the wagon, bro.